don't know why this part's so hard. I don't understand why I can do meetings with CEOs and all kinds of important things, but when I push record, I can't say hi. So, hi, I can do it. I swear, it's in there. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Kristen, and I am building a POA garden. So, I know I'm very new to the YouTube life and actually pretty stinking new to the whole concept of gardening. Last year, I started watching some YouTube channels trying to really dive in to the whole concept of growing my own food and having a pretty sustainable garden. I really hate how much goes in to store-bought vegetables and meat, to be honest. If you actually start looking at the processes and how things are handled, at least here in the US, it's kind of scary if you really dive into it. A good friend of mine, Lauren, whom I adore, hopefully she's okay with the fact that I just said her name, she loves to do research. That's a gift of hers. And I can remember a couple years ago, brought up some, I think it was like a Netflix show or something, a movie that she watched that was really diving into meat production and some of the things that happen before food of all sorts ends up at our grocery store or on our plates. So I can remember when she started talking about it, me being like, I mean, I love you and all, but I really don't know that I want to know. Which shows the sign of ignorance, willful ignorance, and a kind of the ostrich in the sand idea, just bury my head, so if I don't know about it, it's okay, right? That's not the case. And of course, because she loves me, she eased some of that information into my mind, which I do greatly appreciate. But at the time, I can remember being a little traumatized, and I didn't even watch some of the shows, and I'm just listening to her research and things. And so fast forward to a couple years, and I start looking into it a little bit more for myself because my daughter eats what I eat. And it's so funny how I care about what I eat, but I care what she eats. It is a bigger deal to me that she's healthy and she's eating what's good for her than I care about what I'm eating and consuming, which is, it's ridiculous. I'm aware, I can acknowledge that that's a problem. But luckily, it helped guide me into this process of wanting more for us. And so I really built this giant garden in my POA. I'm in a property owners association neighborhood, which basically means very similar to HOAs. There are rules and regulations about what I can do on my property in this neighborhood. There's not a lot against gardening, mostly because my neighborhood is a older generation neighborhood and we're in the country. So they don't really have a problem with you growing your own food as long as everything looks okay. They just don't want everything to look crazy, which they probably give me a little bit more grace than I deserve because I'm not the best about making the outside of my house look tidy. My inside of my house, generally I do okay. The outside, it needs a little work. So you'll be along the journey, hopefully, to see me try to build and grow and make some changes. That being said, I'm going to go over the seeds that I'm about to start. So it is, what is it? It's January 11th. See, I can do this. January 11th, 2023. And in Texas, I'm in Northwest Texas, I guess the best way to describe it. Zone 8A, which basically means that today the high was 58 and tomorrow the high is 77, I believe. So if that gives you any idea of what it's like, Monday and Tuesday we were in 80-degree weather. yesterday and today, we were in the high, like mid 50s, maybe. The highest it got today was 58. So, and I don't actually know that it got that high. I just know that was what the anticipated high was. So that should tell you that even though it's technically winter and we should be technically paying attention to that kind of crop, we have a weird frost. My estimated last frost date is April the 2nd. And so currently, I'm not starting anything outdoors that isn't frost hardy. I thought for now, because it's helpful, in my opinion, for you to see what it is that I'm starting and why I'm starting it mid-January. So, here are my seeds for the new adventure. And I'm actually gonna adjust the camera just ever so slightly. Say, boop, 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 boop. Hey, a little bit less bending over. So, it just means that instead of having the countertop to show you what's in front of me and spread out, I'll have to hold them up. Now, I have a large stack of things that I'm growing and seeds that I'm starting now, even though it's mid-January. The reason behind it is all of our seeds, at least all of the seeds I have, give me an idea of when I should start them indoors. I like to start my seeds indoors when I can, because what I've noticed is I run out of time. And last year, I didn't get any of my peppers or my tomatoes round one. They died out. I started them way too late. And then, out of nowhere, I want to say end of July, they came back to life. I had a ton of volunteer plants. Volunteers are seeds that were dropped from the original plant that burst back to life and came up. They tend to be a little bit more hardy. So they actually survived, and I, thank the Lord, got some jalapenos and some tomatoes. But that's it. And literally, I had one jalapeno plant, and they're tiny jalapenos. They weren't even the big ones that I really wanted. And I had a ridiculous number of tomatoes, but they were all cherry tomatoes for the most part. I think I ended up with one random saladette. No idea how, because I'd never grown them before, but I did. My neighbor gardens, she's the sweetest. I love Miss Donna. And so I'm assuming that one of her seeds ended up in one of my pots from a critter of some sort. I'm sure a squirrel or a bird. But I got lucky and I had those. And then I had tried, my okra tried. It tried so hard, it just didn't do so great. And eggplant, which was prolific. I have discovered I don't love eggplant. I got one on a whim thinking it'd be funny to grow, and it did really well. Lessons learned. So this season, I'm starting all my seedlings early, indoors, according to what the recommendation is. So I'm not starting them so early that I'm crazy. They're not going to survive. They're going to be 2 giant pots and I can't take them outside and harden them off successfully. I'm not doing that. I'm following the recommendation. But I'm also doing some brassicas and salad things that I can put out pretty quickly. So that's currently on my seedling shelf, and I'll hopefully do another video showing you kind of what's already growing tomorrow, along with everything else. Notice I have a lot of plans for tomorrow. I digress. But I wanted to show you what I'm doing tonight and in my seedlings for my future plans within the next week. So, to start, asparagus. So, the thing about asparagus, especially from seed, this is long game. Like long game vision, guys. Asparagus does not successfully produce for, I think, 3 or 5 years. 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5. That's right. 3 to 5 years. So, you plant asparagus someplace that you plan on taking care of it year after year. And normally you'll get crowns if you're wanting to start a bed, because that knocks off some of that time. But I don't like to do things the normal way, although I may still include some crowns. I may do a purchase of that. I have the seeds and I want to start from seeds. So I'm planning to put a bed somewhere out there that's going to be an asparagus bed. That is where they will grow. That is their spot, their home, because you leave them for years. I think I know where I want them to be. And it's okay to go ahead and start the seed, because according to Baker Creek, thank you very much for your instructions, it's supposed to be one of those plants that you start 3 to 4 months in advance indoors before you take it out there. That should tell you how asparagus grows. So what's really cool about it, and the reason why I thought I'd mention it, besides the fact that I do love the long game vision that asparagus provides, this is my little bitty measuring cup. I love him. He's a little chick or a little duck. But inside, you may be able to see just at the bottom. I'll tilt it for you. Hello, angry duck. See those little black dots? Those are my asparagus seeds. You have to soak the asparagus seeds for 24 hours before you plant them in your little seedling dirt. So I want to say I did 8 little seeds in there, soaking until tomorrow morning. I started them this morning so that they can go out. That will be one that I put on my shelf, get it growing, and I'll probably put it in one of these back windowsills with another grow light, because it takes so long to grow. It's months. It needs a place that it can hang out. Now, besides that, this time of year, we start peppers. Now, I'm actually kind of disappointed in myself. I didn't do a great pepper inventory before this time of year. I thought I had more peppers than I do, which is going to sound stupid because I have quite a bit. But I realized that I didn't have some of my favorites, and so I just put in an order for more. But I thought I would go ahead and tell you what I've got and what I'm going to start. So, to begin, not all of these peppers come from places like Baker Creek. Some of them do. Others I got a few years back from Amazon. Yeah, it was an Amazon order about 3 years ago, 2020, when everybody decided that, oh, hey, we can't do anything else, so let's do stuff outside. Why not start a garden? I'm everybody. I'm not going to say that I didn't like them, because they did grow fine, but I'm not super sold on the varieties that I ended up with. They didn't tell me a lot because I didn't know what I was looking for. I just thought, ooh, hey, I like jalapenos. Here's the jalapeno seed. Yay me. I didn't realize there's different types of jalapenos. Who knew? So, to start off with, I am going to grow my jalapenos from Amazon. I also have some seeds that I'm going to start anyways from my jalapeno plant that came out of nowhere. Because they could have been cross-pollinated, who knows what these are going to grow out like. I kind of like the adventure. I also found a random jalapeno in my backyard that didn't look like the others. Pretty sure it must be from a fellow gardener in my neighborhood that randomly got dropped off in my backyard. The pepper looked completely fine. There was no damage, no nothing. It was just randomly in my backyard, not in a normal spot. And I probably could have cooked it, but that made me a little nervous. Instead, I saved the seeds. Next, I'm going to grow some ancho peppers. I have this packet, again, one of my Amazon packets, but I bought an ancho, and I thought, what better to do than show you guys what happens when you grow a store-bought? Might as well. I am all about the adventure here, people. So, next, this should tell you exactly how adventurous my Amazon package was. Here's one that just says peppers. There are multiple kinds of peppers displayed in the imaging here. I'm not 100% sure what seeds are in here. I think they're California Wonder, to be honest. But it doesn't tell you, and it has more than one picture of different types of peppers. How's that going to help you? So I'm going to start my mystery peppers. I do have a few packs of California Wonders. 2 of these come from my green stock. I love green stock. I'm so excited. I have no idea where they get their seeds. I probably should have paid attention to that. Perhaps they grow their own. We'll find out. But I have the California Wonder. I'm going to grow them. I might, emphasis on the word might, go ahead and try them in the green stock because they sent me peppers for a green stock, and it's just amazing to me that that's a possibility. To me, they don't look like they should be able to grow peppers, but apparently you can. So now I have to try it. I just have to. I also got some Sugar Rush Peach. Sugar Rush Peach. I know nothing about them. I've never even eaten one, but I like their name. Baker Creek, I just want you to know, if you're watching, first of all, I'm not sponsored by Baker Creek. I just found them from my favorite YouTubers. Roots and Refuge is my absolute favorite YouTube channel. I watch it daily. I wish I could lie to you and tell you I didn't, because that's almost embarrassing. So Jess, if you ever see this, I love you guys, and we could be friends if I was brave enough to reach out to you. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep randomly talking about you guys and hope for the best. You introduced me to the wide, wide world of seed catalogs. Now I've gone down that rabbit hole. It's a little dangerous. In fairness, for all the other viewers, she does warn you that it can be dangerous. And she's not wrong. So I discovered Baker Creek and M.I. Gardner because of her and their seed catalog. And the Sugar Rush Peach is one that she's mentioned, and I just love it. Look at the picture. Isn't that beautiful? It's so cool. I have no idea if I can handle the heat. No idea what it tastes like. We're going to find out. Then I also got the habanada. Again, look at that picture. It just looks so cool. I'm very impressed with Baker Creek's photography and seed packaging, because not only do they give me all the great instructions telling me that I need to start them now. Thank you for that, because otherwise I wouldn't have known and I would have made a mistake like last year. But they're so pretty. Anyways, habanada is a habanero without the heat, apparently. I am a Texas girl. We like salsa. We like spicy things down here. Except I'm a big old baby. Not even gonna lie. I'm working on it. I am trying to expand my pepper life because I love the flavor of peppers. But I'm a big old baby when it comes to the heat. So, habanada, no heat. Thought that sounded like a good idea. And then the Ozark giant pepper. Now, I may or may not have, or definitely, just placed a seed order for 10 different packages. Not all peppers. Mostly all peppers. I got rosemary and thyme, and I think oregano, and everything else was a pepper. So, all of the peppers that I love, but I didn't grab, I went ahead and got some. Or that I've never grown and thought sounded cool, I went ahead and bought more. I've really got to stop buying seeds, so somebody tell me no more for the season, and I will try really hard. So that's my pepper haul for the start of the season. I plan on succession, I can do this, sowing so that I have them throughout the season. Peppers are great for Texas. Go really well in the heat and the dry. I'm excited to try all of these. I may run out of space, which is why I am multiplying all of my growing space. I will justify it however I need to. But on top of veggies and things that I can eat, I am a huge, huge advocate of taking care of the pollinators. You don't get what you want to eat without them. I mean, you technically can, I guess, because you could self-pollinate, but holy crap, that's a lot of work. And I love the hummingbirds, I love the butterflies, and even the bees. They're pretty, they're fun, they're exciting. There's other bugs out there, I'm well aware. But I will sacrifice plants to allow for butterflies, hummingbirds, and bees. I will sacrifice a lot. I will go get a ton of ladybugs to work on the aphids and everything else under the sun. I bought some flowering plants specifically to help with some of the awful little insects that ruin my delightful harvest. But I'm going to share with my neighborhood, also known as the insects and the critters that live here, because it is an ecosystem, my friends. We don't do well just as humans. We've already proven that. Everything that we keep doing to the earth to eradicate other species, it's backfiring. And I don't plan on being part of that. So, what am I growing? I got these last year. Nope. Yes, I think last year. They're Cracker Jack Mix African Marigolds, wildflowers. These things are huge, and I didn't realize it. See, the packaging even tells me. On the back, it says 30 to 42 inches in height. So when I picture marigold, I picture those little bitty buddies we get at Lowe's. That's not what this is. These things are ginormous. So I am really excited to plant them and start them, even though I know that they get super tall. I'm gonna go ahead and start them this week. But I also, my friends at Baker Creek and M.I. Gardner, I did it again. I am not affiliated. I am not sponsored. Say that one more time. M.I. Gardner, Baker Creek, any of these people I just talked about, don't sponsor me. I'm not affiliated. I'm just a nerd and a big fan. So I have Baker Creek's Spun Orange Marigold. Their Colossus Red Gold. Look at how cool that is, guys. Like, seriously. I'm so excited. Their Orange Flame Marigold. And then I have a Cracker Jacks mix from M.I. Gardner. I love M.I. Gardner's packaging as well. It's different. But they give me a little bit more information about things like container friendly. They're good for pollinators. They promote branching. All this random information that I would not have known about a marigold before. It tells me, yeah, these are going to be super tall. 24 to 36 inches tall. 9 to 12 inches wide. Cool. So those, as they grow, I'm probably going to spread out throughout my backyard in different pots. Not necessarily all of the Cracker Jacks, the African, the big ones that are gigantic. I may not put them in with next to my actual vegetable plants because I have other types of marigolds that can help with the pollinators and help protect from squirrels and other animals and critters that I don't want next to my peppers. I haven't decided if I'll put any of the giant tall ones. We'll see. Next, I got the Calendula Snow Princess. Look how pretty. It's just so pretty. I'd never even seen this flower before, never heard of it, but I liked it. I randomly was looking through the website before the calendar, or yeah, it was before the catalog came out. And it just looked so pretty. And it's good for the frost too. It does require full sun, yay me. But it also self-sows. So that means more volunteer plants hopefully in the future. And I want to be particular about where I plant them because of that. And then I already planted some just store-bought pansies that I found because the garden was looking sad. And I just needed to put something in the ground that was frost hardy now, that was already there and growing and didn't look so sad. But look at this. They're the Black Devil Pansy. How cool is that? Again, it tells me to start them indoors. It says bold blooms the color of India ink with, oh, okay. Something it says on the back that I probably should have known because I think someone said it before, but I've never paid attention. Don't forget, these flowers are also, I can't speak, also edible. What? You can eat a pansy? Can you eat all pansies? Someone tell me. Have I just not known that? First of all, I didn't realize that we eat a lot of flowers. I planted some artichoke seeds. I started them 2 weeks ago? Yes. No, a week ago, I started my artichoke seeds. Did you know the part you eat about the artichoke is the flower that just hasn't blossomed? How did I not know some of these things? Actually, I know why. Because I was raised in the world where we go to the grocery store and we get our food. We don't know all these things because it's not the conventional thing. You don't eat the pansy because it's just a pretty flower. What? Who knew you could eat it? Huh, so cool. Anyways, I am probably going to go down so many rabbit holes when it comes to some of these adventures because I didn't realize all these things about varieties in vegetables and plants, what is edible, what isn't, besides what I could find in the grocery store. And it's so exciting. I want to find a recipe for all the things. And so I did grab a new cookbook I'm reading, Tender by Nigel Slater. I'll go on a rampage about that another day because who knew that a cookbook could be riveting? I definitely didn't. I used them kind of like an encyclopedia. I looked for the recipe I wanted, I read what it took to make it, and then I ran from there. I didn't realize that cookbooks read like regular books or sometimes novels. This is actually a masterpiece. It is so good to read. Feel free, and the pictures are beautiful. I could go on for a long time and I won't. But I'm going through his book and other cookbooks, and my goal for this season is to also share with you the different recipes and things I'm finding for eating this food I'm growing, besides just your basics. I'm a passable cook. I'm not bad. My child eats just fine, and so do I. I can follow a recipe as well as the next girl. Baking is a little bit more of my forte because it's what I've done for most of my life. But I want to learn more, and I want to be able to use the things I'm growing in recipes. So I hope you'll come along with me as I try some of these things. I'm going to try to be brave enough to eat the pansy. I don't know. We'll see if I can muster up the courage to eat it on camera. That could be really funny. There's a lot of jokes to go along with that about eating a pansy, but I'm going to leave that alone. Anyways, I want to try all of these things because I've never done it before. And it's not something I would have thought I would want to try. So I plan on, as I get a harvest, as I grow things, and as this time goes on through my gardening season, showing you some of the things that I'm coming up with and finding to cook, to do all of this adventure. So if you are still with me after listening to me talk and ramble on about all these seeds, bless you. You're very sweet. Come back tomorrow to see what I do for the growing and putting together my new beds. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye, guys.